Distribution groups come in three sets: shared, public and private. They are private by default, and testers invited via email can access releases available to the group. For unauthenticated installs, the group has to be public. Shared groups allow access to multiple apps in a single organization. To receive SMS alerts, you need an action group, and a service health alert. To create a new slot in an app service, create new deployment slots and call it staging or its name. In Azure DevOps, the deployment queue settings allow you to set the order of deployment. OpenTelemetry and OpenCensus support distributed tracing for applications. BACPAC is a zip file with an extension of BACPAC containing metadata and data from the database. It can be stored in Azure Blob Storage or local storage, and then imported into a SQL database instance. Register Azure RM Automate and DSC node registers an Azure virtual machine as DSC, desired state config. Cherry-picking a pull request allows you to copy changes made in a pull request to another branch in your repo. In the pull request, choose Cherry Pick, then select the target branch, and then create a topic branch, the new branch you want the changes in. And then lastly, create a pull request to merge the topic into the target to complete cherry picking. Azure Data Explorer allows you to create dashboards using KQLB. Exabeam, register an application, configure the cloud connector, then configure API permissions. A state diagram describes the behavior of systems in a finite state. The sequence diagram is an interaction diagram that shows how processes operate with one another and in what order. To use key vaults with Azure Data Factory, you have to use secrets and an access policy. Create a DSC configuration, then import Azure Automation Disconfiguration, then lastly start Azure Automation DSC completion job. You can reference parameters in a YAML file using double curly brackets. Container jobs allow you to control dependencies for software or operating systems. However, they don't help speed up deployment. Need to use pipeline caching to do that, as it reduces download times for dependencies. In order to control the deployment process between prod and dev, you can add an alert task on QA which then is connected to a production gate. To distribute a NuGet package, you create a new Azure Arctica FAT feed, connect it to a feed, then publish the package, lastly install the package. For a third-party SDK with incremental builds, you can sign into Devops using an administrator connection security role, then create a personal access token, lastly, register the Pipelines agent in order to use DevOps. Git tag A version 3.0 M, release version 3.0, creates a tag, with an annotation, and the message. Building in Azure, PATs are better than any other option, except certificate. Ignore this comment. Not sure how to explain it. But PATs replace passwords, if certs aren't an option. Security updates are for operating systems in most cases. The Git ifs extension can work with zip files in Git. The Git stash extension can also work with zip files. Azure Stack offers virtual machines that you can run a self-hosted agent on. This agent will let you work with Erland, hack I dropped.